It's time for Cats Talk Wednesday. Small town and big city joined forces. Vinny Hardy of Lynch, Kentucky, and Terry Brown of Louisville, Kentucky, team up to give you free-flowing, laid-back sports talk. Focus on Kentucky Wildcats, as well as pertinent information in the NBA, NFL, and Major League Baseball.
Cats Talk Wednesday for another pregame Wednesday show. We got a 9 o'clock tip tonight, 8 o'clock your time, TV. So
yeah, that's being in the good time zone right there. I don't mind the late games because they're not quite as late. 1 hour makes a big difference, to be honest with you. You know, those 9 o'clock games are always a little bit rough, but we'll see how the Cats do. Gotta build on some momentum as we get to the real meat and potatoes of the schedule.
Yeah, and this was one, beat who you're supposed to beat. This is one of those type of games. But not good enough to just show up and think we can beat somebody. So let's not overlook them and get the big head from Arkansas and be looking ahead to the Denim weekend with Tennessee. So
yeah,
handle these Sooners. And I think if they wanted to have that mindset, or take an Oweh and Brandon Garrison, their hatred for Oklahoma will not let them overlook Oklahoma. So that's a good thing.
And Garrison stay fired up.
Yes, he does.
I think with this team, we're still trying to figure it out. Here it is, February the 4th. But with confidence, can you say what we're going to see tonight?
No.
Like that's the unevenness of this team is, even the 9-win team, those guys played hard, right? There were a lot of last-second shots that were missed, hit against Kentucky. Most of those were single-digit. They fought every game. But we're still to the point now where it's like, with confidence, I don't know what we're going to get, to be honest with you. I know we all are excited for the Arkansas game and the former coach and all that intrigue and everything like that. But Vandy still happened, right? So I know we want to point to the good stuff, but you also have to look at the bad stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, the song, you take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts life is, yeah, I'm excited because we had some comebacks against Tennessee and against LSU. But also this team, up until Arkansas, as the play-by-play guy was saying, the largest road lead that Kentucky had was like 5 points.
Yeah.
And then they broke it when it got to 6.
Yeah.
And he hammered that a couple. Like, this is the largest lead they've had on the road all year. So I'm very excited. I like the way the game finished. Doug Shows, I don't know what he's like.
Wow.
And then the next night, not Tennessee, but Memphis and Tulane, he threw out some more technicals. Like, they've got to do something with the officiating.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got to start with these guys can't be independent contractors.
Mm.
I think the leagues are going to have to step up and get this under control. There's just too much at stake for these guys. And I'm not faulting the officials, but you shouldn't be doing 6 games a week.
Yeah.
Because NBA officials don't do that, right? Baseball, where there's all those games, they've got, I think it's 130 games that the umpires get to do. It's moderated, right? Like every week in the NFL. They don't do 17 straight weeks there either, or 18 week or whatever, because not that they're good at that's just hard to do.
Yeah,
it's hard to get up and down the court and focus the way you got to focus. But that being said, Chows stinks. Like the tech on Mo for gesturing at the camera. I can't remember a softer technical ever. maybe Joey Crawford throwing Tim Duncan out of the game for laughing on the bench.
Yeah.
That's just preposterous.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, I think after that, he wasn't allowed to do Spurs games. Well, if you've got an official that can't do a certain team's games, right? Now, I don't know if it was Show's or it may have been the roofing business guy. But there was the one ref where for the longest time, like 78% of all the technical fouls Kentucky got were games he officiated. Like that is weird to me. Or, Kentucky wins on average about 78% of their games, except him, they 5-7.
Right.
Like, but I'm not saying there's anything nefarious. I'm just saying that's weird.
Yeah. Like that Scott Foster and Chris Paul.
Yeah.
That whole thing and just
ongoing
history and stuff.
And Scott Foster is the dude that they send in when they want the series to be extended. You can't have that. You can't have that.
That's his reputation.
You can't make and look, all these officials, I've done some officiating in my day. It's been a while, but you got zones you're supposed to call. I hate you down here in the front court. You gonna call block and charge, or you in the back court. You gonna call it in the front court.
Yeah,
that's not your call to make. And one time, it might have been Show's teed up Cal. He on the other side of the court, like diagonal. There's no way you could you could hear something like that.
Yeah.
Or you see somebody get made call, like there's no way you can see that call. There's too many bodies. There's no way you can see that.
I did a little officiating too, like you said. It was middle school. And the other guy didn't show up. So this was like Michael was a baby. And so the principal just gave me his check. It was like, look, you doing both jobs, you taking his check and yours. But hey man, you talk about letting stuff go. I mean, if the kids wasn't bleeding, we getting up and down the court, you can't, like you said, you cannot see everything. You can't be in the perimeter and in the paint at the same time. You're going to miss something. There's no way to oversee it all. So for those that try, it's you just can't do it.
No. And so that being said, I'm not a fan of Show's because the game, of course, you want the players to determine the game. But that game, Kentucky was comfortable, and now we got 3 techs in 38 seconds, and the game is weird now. Not only that, but both teams got in the bonus fairly early
because they start calling everything after.
And so I'm like, oh, we're just gonna shoot free throws from here. No one wants to see a free throw shooting contest, which is another reason why I do believe that men's college basketball needs to be like every other league on earth,
yes,
on earth, and go to quarters.
Yeah, every level, international, wherever you go, FIBA, the Australian leagues, the G League, where a lot of these people need to stay and stop coming back to college, go to quarters. Yeah,
because it's been 10 years since the women went to quarters. I looked it up because the missus is learning basketball, and so she's confused. Like, why don't the men do? You got me. I don't know. There's no reason, but it stops being these foul fests where it's just free throws and free throws. You let it reset. Anyway, that being said, I love the fight from the team in a hostile environment. A lot of people say winning in Bud Walton Arena is tough. I'm like, is it? Kentucky's got a winning record there, so it's not tough. Although there's been some bizarre games, the ball that bounced, all that. We don't need to relitigate the people trying to fight Aaron Harrison, and all that kind of stuff. The good thing for me is I'm not saying Arkansas is a rival, but what I will say is I'm old enough to remember in the early 90s when the SEC first started expanding, right?
Mm-hmm.
The SEC brings in South Carolina and Arkansas, which started with SMU and the Pony Express scandal. That's why Arkansas is like, we got to get out of the Southwestern Conference. Like, that started this whole ball rolling. Anyway, I was excited because, here lately, SEC schools have cared about men's basketball, but they didn't.
Yeah.
For 80 years, it was Kentucky and whoever showed up, right? Oh, Auburn's got Charles Barkley. They'll be good for a year or two. Georgia's got Dominique Wilkins. They will challenge for a year or two. Oh, it's Ernie and Bernie, right? Like, whatever it is, Oh, Shaq, you got Chris Jackson and Shaq at LSU. Okay, cool. But Arkansas was coming in with a history, Sidney Moncrief, and then, Todd Day and Lee Mayweather and Oliver Miller. Not Lee Mayweather. Lee Mayberry and Oliver Miller and all that kind of stuff off of a 1991 Final Four appearance. And so we finally had I'm trying to tell these kids those first like 4 or 5 games, Kentucky and Arkansas, nothing better. Again, kids, I'm telling you, from 94 to 98, that's 3 national titles and 2 runners-up between those 2 schools. And it was 40 minutes of hell, and it was Patino and just what I'm talking about. And then they decided not to be good for a quarter century. Yeah. So the game felt like that. It felt chippy because I honestly believe that looking around at men's basketball, I think Arkansas really takes it serious.
Yeah.
And they've taken it serious for a while. And we added in the whole Eddie Sutton leaving and said he would crawl on his hands and knees from Fayetteville to Lexington. That didn't help. But I love that. And if it's Cal going there to get that back up, good. Because I think those 2 fan bases, football is always going to matter. I'm not dumb. But I think for basketball, those are your top 2 in the SEC. And I thought that Arkansas was going to be that year in, year out rivalry. And then they didn't care for a quarter century. So bring that back. I'm glad.
Because, when Arkansas wasn't playing us, to me, they were easy to root for in basketball. I mean, I like Nolan and Corliss, Big Nasty and Corey Beck. And, they had squads, man. And, the SEC story, 40 Minutes of Hell, you watch, Nolan had that chip on his shoulder anyway from everything he had been through, from UTEP to his upbringing, then to the way, from his perspective, the way Kentucky and Arkansas play similar styles of ball, but the way Kentucky was perceived under Patino, the way he was perceived at Arkansas, we out here pressing and trapping and up-tempoing and doing the same kind of thing. So he brought that to the table as well, and you had those epic games, the battles, Tony Duncan, those guys. Arkansas didn't back down. It was, like you said, 40 minutes of just,
Well, in that documentary you talked about, the line that stood out to me was when they beat Kentucky in Rupp, and Nolan told him, if you can do this, you can win a national championship. And yay, verily, in 1994, they did. Like, I don't think people understand the mid-90s, Arkansas was a brand because Bill Clinton was a fan. Like, you got Clinton coming to the games. Like, Arkansas was it, baby.
Yeah.
And again, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, those games meant something. It was like the Cowboys and the Niners in the 90s. Like, hey, we're going to get a top A game when these 2 meet up.
And who they beat for their title? They beat Duke. So, I mean, who was the brand and who was doing that thing? And, they had 91 and 92, the early 90s, and, they beat Coach K and Duke. So, you can't do no better than that at that time. A championship is a championship, but you went through them to get it
and get back to the title game.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a feat in and of itself. But going back to this game, Oweh, hey, he's playing at a different level. This is what we need. He's looking like the SEC Player of the Year. That's what we need. I think looking at that Arkansas game, I would say that the roles are becoming a little bit more defined on what people are being asked to do. But still, it still feels like it takes to the second half for Pope to figure out these are the people that I can roll with to close the game. Like Mo Diabate, he's got to be out there because the games are going to get only more physical from here on out.
Yeah.
He's got to get out there, right? I think the surprise of this season so far is Moreno.
Yeah.
And the skill set he's bringing. Because when I see him, quote unquote, do something wrong, it's just because he's not physically strong enough, right? Like put him on the Walter McCarty diet, let him put up some stuff. But people are kind of figuring out what their roles are. I see a lot of people saying about Denzel Aberdeen, like his whole thing is, hey, sometimes I just got to put up a shot, right? Like sometimes I just got to do that, and I'm okay with that, right? Colin Chandler has picked up a knack of making the right play at the right time. From the pass to Marino against LSU. A lot of people forget about the pass he had to Oweh, which should have won the game against Missouri, and he hit a big shot against Arkansas. So it's starting to come together. But again, I don't know what we're going to get. Every time I think they've turned the corner, like after St. John's, after Indiana, I keep forgetting we played Indiana for some reason. Like that game just, I don't know. And it sucks because, again, I'm old enough to remember when that was a game of the year.
It was.
And now I'm like, oh yeah, we did play Indiana. Okay, all right. So yeah, I'm encouraged by what I'm seeing so far, but I don't know. If someone told me, hey, they might lose in the first round tournament, I'd be like, probably. Or, Sweet 16, maybe an Elite 8. I can see either way. At this point, confident in neither.
I mean, Oweh could, do another dagger to them at the buzzer, just like he did the last two times. Or Kentucky could, win comfortably by 8 or 9, which for them, that's comfortable. Or they could stub their toe and, OU could come in and steal it. Like, I mean, it's all on the table. Going back to Marino, though, take him away because, the bigs were supposed to be a strength of this team, probably. If they're looking at it in the summertime. JQ is going to get healthy. Yelovich comes in. Brandon Garrison, year 2. Marino is going to be the freshman to just kind of be brought along slowly and, get in where he fits in. That had materialized the way they hoped. Take Malachi off of this squad and because
yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, it'd be different. Like I said, I because I saw a lot of Kentucky fans dunking on other Kentucky fans after the game. Don't try to get back. Don't try to get back on the bandwagon, everything like that. Oh yeah, Coach. Yeah, I agree.
Yes,
yeah, he is ahead of schedule, and thank goodness. Right? Like he's more skilled than I thought. It's always, when you look at the big man, it's the footwork.
Doing our best. Big things, Kentucky. Friends of the show.
Yeah.
And boy, ain't this the truth? A good first half, man. You got to have that. I mean, if they did that Saturday, and you see what happened. Because I tweeted out, it was 14-5. As soon as you blink your eye. Well, at Vanderbilt, it took them 14 minutes to score 14 points. So if the changes or whatever they did in the routine, the pregame, if that's going to be what it takes, fine. But you got to find something to not be down in the first half. You got to play even or have a lead in the first half for sure.
Yeah, and look, again, I don't know what team we're going to get.
Yeah.
I am encouraged, but I've been discouraged as well. Like we talked about earlier, the good and the bad. And so dunking on other Kentucky fans, like, don't try to get off the bandwagon. Look, man, I actually got called. I don't think I sent you this tweet. I got called a negative a-hole because my whole thing is I don't know if Pope's got it. Like, which I thought was fair because I'm tired of losing like we've been losing.
Yeah.
So it was fair, I think, for Kentucky fans to say, hey, this ain't it. And so I'm ride or die, but I just don't want to be down 15 points all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so now they finally gave us one game where they weren't. Okay, good, but I'm still encouraged.
So you've done a heel turn, according to some. Then you negative now.
I went from being a sunshine pumper and getting yelled at to now I'm negative because I'm like I'm tired of getting blowed out, man.
Yeah.
And then when I say I'm just tired of getting blowed out, well, Kyle got blowed out too. Not as much as you think. Yeah, he lost. It wasn't blowouts like this. And then when I was like, I'm tired of losing. Well, what about St. Peter's and Oakland? Yeah. Yeah, those losses happen. But you know what else happened? 4 Final Fours. Like, again, you just can't take the pieces that you want and make a point. You got to look at the whole thing.
Yeah.
Cal was able to survive some of those lean years because we had really good years.
Yeah.
I'm just want to get to the good years.
Yeah. So if Cal had done this in his first 2 years, in 2010, 2011, I mean, he'd have been getting the same smoke, This guy came from Memphis. We brought him in for this. This is, he took UMass to a Final Four. What's he doing losing by 20 every game?
Because the last coach that was embarrassing us like this only got 2 years.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean,
San Diego and Houston and Gardner
VMI,
Webb and
all that kind of stuff. Like, no, man. And look, I get it. I didn't think, even if things had kind of soured this year, he was going to get year 3. Like I did not think and did not want Pope to be walked out after year 2. But if you underperform this year, you put pressure on next year.
Yeah.
So look, I'm happy. I'm never going to sit here like I've seen other people and want Kentucky to lose to be right.
Right.
If they turn it around and they get to a Final Four this year, I will say, hey, a lot of losses, but they figured it out. I'm man enough to say that. Some people, I think, were rooting against Cal at the end because they wanted him going. I'm never like that for any of my teams.
Yeah.
I've had some coaches of some of my other teams. I'm like, this person needs to go. Chip Kelly was the head coach of the Niners. And I had forgotten that until I saw a clip. I was like, oh, yeah.
What year was that?
2012, 2013.
The head coach?
Yeah.
Wow.
Chip Kelly, Jim Thomasula.
I remember
Mike
that dude.
Singletary, because Mike Singletary is the one that pulled his pants down. Like, man, it's been wild. But I'm never gonna root for my team to lose to get rid of a coach to prove a point. No, that's not how I'm wired. And I'm not trying to say I'm better than anybody, but you're never gonna see me, man. I hope the 49ers lose so they get Shanahan out of here. That's not what I do. But yeah,
2016 49ers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man. After being with the Eagles for 3 years, went to the 49ers. I guess y'all had a bad year. He was only there for a year, so I guess it didn't go well.
Yeah, the post Harbaugh run. I for whatever reason had thought that there wasn't that big a gap between Harbaugh and Shanahan, but yeah, we had a lot of dudes come through there.
I did not, man. I totally.
Yeah,
Kelly was y'all's coach. I did not remember that now, man.
Yeah.
And I remember Tom Sewell just, and that's not a name here every day, but I mean, I know that
he
was
didn't look
bad
like a
too.
coach.
That's y'all's Chan Gailey and Dave Campo. That's what that is for y'all.
Before Harbaugh, there was I'm blanking on the name, but he wanted to wear a suit. He was I can't think of it now, but he wanted to wear a suit because his dad was a coach. There's been a lot of stuff. That once Steve Mariucci left, it was just a cavalcade. But speaking of Niners, I did see two highlights. Jerry is going to get a statue outside the stadium.
Oh, okay.
I'm excited about that. And reports are saying Roger Craig is going into the Hall of Fame.
Oh.
The first 1,000-yard rusher, 1,000-yard receiver in the same season guy.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he's going in. But speaking of the Hall of Fame, we didn't talk about it last week. We got to talk about the Hall of Fame, the NFL Hall of Fame. You got to work hard to make Bill Belichick sympathetic at this point. But if you're going to say we're putting coaches in the Hall of Fame and you don't vote Bill Belichick in, then what are we doing?
Mm.
And they can come up with all this. Well, you got to vote for your top three. I'm not reading all that. Like whatever. If your process yields this result, it is a flawed process.
Mm-hmm.
It's that simple. They need to change it. It doesn't. The thing is, it doesn't matter that he was a jerk at press conference. Shouldn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
It shouldn't matter. T.O. should not have had to wait 3 years to go in.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
When you get done as a receiver, and the only person ahead of you in the record books for all these categories is Jerry Rice, you should waltz in.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw a lot of people, he's bad with the media and all this kind of stuff. And it was, and look, was T.O. a jerk? Absolutely. But he wasn't a foul of any laws.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything. And honestly, it's because the media doesn't like him that people don't talk about his Super Bowl performance.
Yeah.
He broke his leg and was playing Super Bowl like 9 weeks later.
Mm-hmm.
Out here huffing on it.
Yeah.
Like, that's a performance that should be talked about more. Like, he broke his leg.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he's playing tackle football like 8 weeks later.
Yeah, and balling.
But we were talking about that. And so that's my whole thing with these media folks that want to preach about decorum, like the lady, Miss Jones, down in Jacksonville, talking to former Kentucky OC Liam Cohen. And this is not how it operates. Number one, that's dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, you and I have sat through press conferences. People ask stupid questions.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So stop sitting here like, well, the fans don't understand what we do. Yeah. And that's why shows like this exist. Fan sites exist. Fanboys exist because you get tired of it.
Yeah.
You get tired of these media narratives. And I should know who your favorite team is if you cover it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is, and why you get all these podcasts with these former athletes is a lot of media folks like to get a little cute with it. Right? You've been there. It can't be, hey, you lost by 10, blah, blah, but you got to get cute with it. And you got to be slick with it.
Mm-hmm.
People aren't dumb.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people used to get on Cal, like, but remember when Cal was like, well, they were in this offense or this defense, what would you have done? And people don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know the ins and outs, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to get a technical question, you should understand the technical side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like it's like this. I'm flying on the plane and it's a rough flight. I should be able to say, hey, you know, that flight was a little bit rough. But if I say the pilot doesn't know what he's doing, the pilot is X, Y, and Z, and the pilot's like, well, how do you handle the tremble or whatever it is? Like, all right, I don't know all that. Like, okay, I'm going to keep it high level. But that's what happens in a lot of these press conferences. And then they never defend one of their own for being inappropriate.
Mm-hmm.
Folks love to stick together.
No.
Right? And so we have seen media people take stuff too far. But they won't back off of people.
Mm-hmm.
And they always got to make the little jokey jokes. I know I'm ranting a little bit, but the way they bastardized Allen Iverson's practice speech. If you watch it in its entirety and your takeaway is practice, you missed the whole. You missed it.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about like he had his best friend that just died.
Nope.
And he's doing all this stuff, and he's the face of the franchise. And Larry Brown is like, and he's like, I'm doing all this, and we talking about practice.
Mm-hmm.
That's what people like. Oh, he's just a spoiled brat. Don't want to practice. You have to hear what the man said.
Yo, they blew right past all of that.
And then, you know, when it comes to Hall of Fame, we got all these media folks, which I think is a bad idea, particularly like in the NBA, where the media votes for the first, second, third team All NBA, and that controls coins.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm not nice to the media, that's affecting. That's a huge gap. You don't make one of them all pros. That's $40 million off the top.
Yo.
And then you play and you do all this stuff. Now comes the Hall of Fame, and you've got these media folks with these that pretend they don't have agendas.
Yeah.
And you know, the whole baseball Hall of Fame, we've talked about it before. Well, nobody should be unanimous. So you watch person X play, and you decide, no, not a Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think a lot of people realize that Jackie Robinson barely made it in the Hall of Fame first time around.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was 75 and he got 76%. Like, hello.
Right.
Like, hello.
Mm-hmm.
So then what happens is we started seeing this like in the 90s and the 2000s. Some of the greats we grew up with would go in the Hall of Fame and wouldn't be unanimous. They'd miss by a couple of votes.
Mm-hmm.
And wouldn't you know it, the person that didn't vote him, had an article. Let me tell you why Ken Griffey Jr. is not a Hall of Famer. I'll tell you why Nolan Ryan's out a Hall of Famer and some other stuff. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. What are you?
You're making yourself the story.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I get it. It's not like, and look, we vote for the Kentucky Sports Person of the Year. It's not easy because every year you get a list of, you know, whatever is 80 names, and it's like some of the people I'm unfamiliar with. I'm like, oh yeah, it's tough.
Mm-hmm.
But by the same token, I know if Emmitt Smith's up for the Hall of Fame, I'm voting for him. Like, what are we doing?
Uh-huh. Yeah. It's
like, what are we doing? So again, the Bill Belichick, and then media poke. Well, you know, he'll get in eventually. Y'all out here proving points that don't need to be proved.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, you know, Spygate. Like they were punished for that.
Yeah.
They were caught and punished.
Mm-hmm.
And now you want to punish again because you can. You get to sit here and you get to know Bill Belichick. Like,
And whatever sway Bill Polian had, for those that allowed themselves to be swayed by him too, that's a mess.
Bill Polian is just mad because he got his butt kicked.
That's what
a lot.
Yeah.
Like, of course he got an axe to grind because the Patriots putting the Colts to I'll say this: there are all these great quarterbacks that you feel probably should have more Super Bowls. I know getting to at least one Super Bowl is tough, but Peyton Manning only getting the Colts there twice and winning once. And you had rule changes to help you out? Coming up real funny in the light a little bit. We need to have that discussion. But Bill Polian getting his butt kicked from Buffalo to Indianapolis by the Patriots, of course he got an axe to grind. But you can only put 3, and everybody just assumed that Bill. No, some names come across your desk and you just vote for them.
Yeah.
Because I know there's a backlog. There are deserving people that probably it shouldn't have taken Roger Craig this long to get in.
Yeah. And hate the 49ers all you want, but 1,000 rushing, 1,000 receiving.
Yeah, and was that dude was instrumental
with all those other players around him.
Yeah,
and he still, I saw somebody. I quote tweeted a tweet today about the retrospective disrespect for Emmitt Smith. Oh, he only did that because he had that offensive line that he ran behind. But, the year he ran for like 1,700 yards, he caught 60-some passes. I mean, it ain't Roger Craig, but it's still complete back. We ain't even talking about how he picked up a blitz. We ain't talking about how he was catching, So the people that Roger Craig should have been in, and I don't like the Niners, but you can't deny 1,000, and
and for me too, the football shouldn't be about the numbers. As I have said repeatedly, I think right now Joe Montana and Johnny Unitas are like 18 and 19 all-time passing yards, and ahead of them is like Kerry Collins and I can't remember off the top of my head. And there's no world where you would take Kerry Collins,
who
wasn't bad. Like but no one's taking Kerry Collins above those two.
Yeah.
And so when we get to the Hall of Fame, for me, it should be, hey man, especially like for the last few decades, was this a person that you were like, hey, did you see him? Did you see this game he had? Like, people are talking themselves into Matt Stafford going to the Hall of Fame, and I'm like, well, he's got 60,000. I don't care. Matt Ryan is top 5 in yardage, but is he going in? No, I don't think so. I think Eli will get in because he got the 2, but being mid, I couldn't tell you any other Eli Manning game other than the Super Bowls, which I'm not discounting, but like for me, and again, I'm not a voter. When I think about Hall of Famers, it's like, okay, it is Terrell Owens on one leg. It is that game against the Giants with Emmitt Smith when it was basically like, we're going to put this ball in your stomach 30 times.
Yeah.
Separated shoulder. Yeah. Or not, right? Where that is a Hall of Famer to me.
The second Super Bowl against the Bills, where they just down 13-6 at the half. Buffalo can taste it. They're going to win the Super Bowl. And they just come out and it's Emmitt, like 8 straight runs, flip the game back to us. Our momentum is back. And let's not forget, that team started 0-2 because Emmitt Smith held out.
Yeah.
And still made the playoffs and went on to win back-to-back championships. So you led the team because Derek Lassick was out here and all these other boys was trying to Took the Rock them first 2 games, and we was Buffalo came to Dallas and beat us in the regular season, like week 2 in the rematch of the Super Bowl. And so then that's what got Jerry to sign a contract and all that kind of stuff. So that's Hall of Fame moments, like you said. So.
Yeah, and and it's not like I disliked it, but it can't be the Hall of Very Good. Like it just can't be. And no, Phillip Rivers doesn't need to be in there.
Darren Woodson needs to be in there. Is he Ronnie Lott? No, but is he the Cowboys all-time leading tackler? Is he instrumental in 3 championships?
Yeah.
And look, this is why you just said Eli's getting in, because his moments happened in the Super Bowl against the Patriots, who have become this juggernaut. He took 2 from Brady by himself. So you have your moments. If Eli couldn't have picked a better time to have a moment, because those 2 moments are the convincers. They get him over the edge to get into the Hall of Fame. The teams that win the Super Bowls typically are going to have more of the Hall of Famers. Look at all the 49ers that are in. You look at the Cowboys and the Steelers in the 70s.
Yeah.
They beat us in 2 Super Bowls by 4. They got a lot more dudes from the, Steel Curtain and all that went in, as opposed to Charlie Waters and all those legends that the Cowboys had that my dad watched. Just short, but they got more dudes in than us.
Well, and that was the thing when I went to the Hall of Fame. When you just look around the Hall of Fame, it's basically, if your team didn't win a Super Bowl, like there's not that much stuff out there for you.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. I was talking to the wife about this. And just in sports in general, what teams get to be beloved and what teams don't. What I mean by that is, we were talking about is the anniversary of Gary Anderson missing that field goal for the Vikings, right? Where the Vikings had the high scoring offense and the Falcons came and they did the dirty bird. They won. But when you look at it, the Vikings have had some brutal losses, because then they had 41-0 against the Giants in the NFC Championship game. I know, like in the 90s, when they had Chris Doleman and that bunch, that was the team that the Niners or the Cowboys would play before they played each other. Like they would always, Niners and Cowboys would always beat the Vikings before the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
But then they've also lost 4 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
So
Not
it's like
consecutively like Buffalo, but they still lost.
But they lost, and it's like, but they don't get the lovable losers. They like,
and you think about this, before our time, and I tweeted this out to some Vikings account. Roger Staubach to Drew Pearson on the Hail Mary was a playoff game that knocked them out of the playoffs. And my question was, I was like, is this the Vikings version of Christian Laettner? Because
they invented a whole. I forgot about that.
They had us beat.
Invented. Oh my God!
They had us beat.
Hail Mary got in, but
Roger Staubach became Captain Comeback
with that game. Again, when you start looking at brutal losses, and I think part of it is they play in a division with the Packers. They're going to take up a lot of the oxygen. And the Bears, who for whatever reason,
George Halas, still living off George Halas.
And I'd have to put the 86 Bears, or I guess 85 Bears, and the 08 Celtics, teams getting so much mileage off one chip. Because when you hear Paul, I almost said Paul George, we got to talk about him too. But when you hear Paul Pierce and them talk, it's like only one chip.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are we doing here? And the way we talk about the Bears and the Super Bowl shuffle, they won the 1 year Joe Montana was hurt. No, look around it. And the Niners have put them out in the 80s and early 90s, put the Bears out of the playoffs 3 times by like a combined score of like 124-6. Like, come on. Anyway, and so that's my thing is I love like the Niners have fans now, but when I was growing up, it was kind of like the Patriots, very corporate, very whatever, didn't have a lot of fans. Like they didn't seem to catch on that you would think 5 Super Bowls, the first team to 5 and been stuck on 5 for 30 years. Yeah. But what teams get the juice and what teams don't?
Mm-hmm.
Like I understand the Braves getting their fan base because of TBS.
No.
You talk to most Braves fans our age that grew up not in Atlanta, and it's like, well, at 105, they was on the Saturday night. Cubs fans, WGN.
Yeah.
Right? And in America's team. I don't know how that happened, but Dallas became America's team. But
yeah,
the 70s was a crazy time. So who knows? But just thinking about like the Vikings have had some just tough losses.
Brutal, yeah.
Without a payoff. Like again, I've said the Niners have had some brutal playoff losses since the Super Bowls.
Yeah.
But nobody points to them because they did win the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Like you got the 5, so I get it. Like no one's gonna care when Kentucky loses in the Final Four. Mm-hmm. Nobody boo to who, right? Like I told you, got a mutual friend who's a University of Utah alum, our age. They hated to see us coming. Like, and that's the one thing that balances out is as a Kentucky fan, we've got all these memories of ending teams like their best season ever, and we just beat them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I told you, friend of the show, Adam Jacoby. We drive into a ball game. I think it was to see Caitlin, and he's talking about, was it the 98? It might have been 98. Kentucky played Iowa in the second round, and he's like, "This was our best team in 10 years, and we was rolling, blah 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 blah, and all this kind of stuff." And in my mind, I'm like, I don't remember this. Like I'm like, I don't remember this at all. And it was a close game, but we won. But I was like, oh, the second round in 98, I wasn't paying attention to second round games.
Yeah.
But you see what I'm saying? Like how many teams, like Stanford, their best team ever, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I had to look at some of those, well, think about it. Wichita State.
Yeah.
Undefeated.
I need to watch that again. Mm-hmm.
Best college game, just from start to finish. And without any warning, the game was going to be that good.
Okay.
That
because the Louisville Houston, you had warning that it was going to be that good.
Oh yeah, when you got 5 slam and jam and the
I was about to say, I'm like, you putting that above?
No.
Like, whoa,
no. As far as a game of, I think that caught everybody off guard.
Mm-hmm.
But that was just a great game. I need to rewatch that from start to finish as well. But Kentucky historically has ended a lot of people's dream seasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you think about it that way.
Yeah, I was like, there's a flip side to that.
Yeah, we're on the other side of all that. Yeah. Because, we had the Leitner deal, and, that was brutal. I remember that. I was, 14. So I remember that, sitting there watching that dagger. And then, but after that has been, and the Final Four to the Fab Five, that was tough. Sam Mashburn fouled out, but just year after year after year, like these Iowa fans and these Utah fans, no,
I mean,
the good outweighs the bad.
But, think about it, like UMass, right? Their best team ever had already beaten Kentucky in the beginning of the year, right? A lot of teams, we ended their dream seasons.
Man, that's crazy. That is crazy. Louisville is on now, so hopefully they don't go to overtime because Kentucky comes on after them. Got Louisville, Notre Dame. Speaking of Louisville, I just found this out today. I don't know. I was somebody put a TikTok up, and it was Roy Rubin. I had no idea who he was. You being from Louisville, I mean, he played for Louisville from like 49 to 51. I was like, huh, okay. But the TikTok was of him because he was on the sideline smoking 2 cigarettes at one time as the coach of the 72-73 Philadelphia 76ers that went 9-73.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, and so they just had a clip. I'm like, who is this dude? And then the commentators are like, there's Coach Rubin, and he goes and puffs with the right hand. Then he goes and puffs with the left hand. And the announcers are like, yeah, he's looking for a spark. I'm like, really? Looking for a spark? They're really going to say looking for a spark when the man got 2 Marlboros on his hand? So then I Googled him. I'm like, Rubin. Because I didn't know. I'm like, okay, Rubin, Sixers. And then it came up. So he was the coach for the 72-73 Sixers. Played at Louisville from 49 to 51, right when Rupp is winning a bunch of titles at Kentucky.
Yeah.
He coaches at Long Island. He's decent there. Gets the job for the Sixers. And of course, it didn't go well. He wasn't NBA ready. They start off 4-47. He gets fired. They finished 9-73. Worst record we've ever seen over 82 games. Terry Brown, I ask you, if he had gone to Kentucky and then has the same career and then is the coach of the worst 82-game season ever, would the Louisville fans not be finding ways to throw that up at us if they knew he went to Kentucky?
Yes.
I just found out today he went to Louisville. I had no idea. Gets fired, never coaches again, like owns an IHOP later in life. The Sixers, they say, were so bad. According to the Wikipedia and the articles I looked up, Adolph Rupp and somebody else turned them down. The Sixers went after Rupp to coach them, and he said no. It's wild, man. I had no idea that none of this happened.
But speaking of that time, I don't know if you saw the clip. There's an ABA documentary.
I saw George Carl's tweet of all people,
and I watched it. And my thing is they got to say something about the Colonels. And they did. Dana Issel makes an appearance in the trailer, and they got to talk about the Colonels and Issel and those bunch. So I'm looking forward to that. I got to catch the Niners documentary on AMC. I got to watch that. Definitely excited about that. Even though it's narrated by Tom Brady, but whatever.
Because he's from out there, I guess.
Yeah. He grew up out there and everything. So
hey, you got to watch that Stuart Scott if you ain't seen the Stuart Scott one too.
Yeah, I got a lot of backlog. I need to get Netflix. There's a bunch of stuff on Netflix I want to see too.
See, I got Netflix. I guess I need to get. Was it Amazon Prime? Is that where the ABA thing is? I don't
know where it's coming in. I think it is on Prime, but not till later on. So, but yeah, the ABA. Definitely sad that the Colonels did not migrate with the Pacers into the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
But Louisville stays missing out.
Yeah. Speaking of NBA, James Harden is going to Cleveland. Anthony Davis is going to Washington. Ooh.
Look, Anthony Davis, as you can he's goated in my book. I'm not tolerating any slander, but it's becoming more and more like the years he was fully healthy, his team won championships.
Yeah.
In college and then in the bubble in the NBA, right? Like that's the most miraculous thing is he stayed healthy all at UK. Except for against Baylor.
Yeah, we was all holding our breath. Ooh.
When everybody took a big gasp with the Commonwealth, little did we know we should have been taking a big breath because he gets banged up. But look, yeah, it's going to Siberia, the Washington franchise.
Mm-hmm.
I put them on my list of teams I forget actually exist. I still want to say Bullets, and they've been the Wizards for like 30 years. which feels bad because again, Wes Unseld, fellow Seneca alumni, is their greatest of all time, and but I forget about Washington having a team.
Yeah.
So I hope he gets healthy and turns it around. But yeah.
And Paul George, you mentioned him at the beginning.
PEDs, man.
Ooh.
But I think we all saw him break his leg like that. He should be allowed to take PEDs. If you got an injury like that, yeah, you can take it. You good.
Yeah, you still. Yeah, that's. Yeah, to come back from that is something else, and then we had the ups and downs afterwards, the playoff P stuff, and wasn't he the one shooting outside the backboard?
Yeah, in the bubble.
Yeah.
And to be part of the trade to get Shea to OKC.
Yeah. Yeah, the Kentucky Sports Person of the Year there. That the year Shea had, everybody can vote how they want, but the year Shea had would be like not putting him on your top 10 at all for Kentucky Sports Person of the Year. Because and some may not have put him on there, but just have a year like that and not even make the top 10. I read all the names, like you said, read all the list of 80 names, and I was on with Dick Gabriel Friday. He mentioned you. We be on Big Blue Insider from time to time. I read Shea's bio and I was like, it was like Larry Bird. Everybody else playing for second this year. This is my winner. That's been the easiest time I've ever had picking a winner. Now the other 9 I still had to do, but you read the paragraphs because you're the best player on the best team in the league. You win all the awards. All right, look, everybody else playing for second, and so that
Yeah, I had him one on my list as well.
Yeah, so it was.
Yeah,
it's pretty cut and dry. I don't think it's ever been that cut and dry for me for a winner, but this year it was for sure.
Yeah. No, I enjoy voting for that, but like I said, Shea, if the rules say that you have to have a connection to Kentucky, then he's the clear winner.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And some I think maybe everybody's different. Some may not vote for the former Kentucky Louisville players that are in the pros doing great things. Like if Devin Booker scores 30 a game and gets to the second round of the playoff. But Shea was on another level, and we've seen guys have good years. Lamar, MVP, doesn't get to Super Bowl. But, we've seen guys that have come through Kentucky and moved on, have good years. And I usually stay more in state. Just, what's this kid doing here, this coach doing here in the state. But when it's like that, Shea just blows it out the water. It's just a no-brainer.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I had Shea as number 1 on my list, so congrats to him on that. You can add that to all his other hardware that he's winning.
Now, Levi Stadium, I said it right this time. Who do you somebody gonna hoist a trophy in the stadium that your team calls home. Do you have a preference? Do you wish they both could lose? Is it one of those situations for you?
Yeah, I've got no affinity for either team. I'm not a fan of the Seahawks at all. The worst thing to happen in the NFL was for the Seahawks to win the 1. Because 1 is less than 5.
Yes, it is.
Unless I'm doing my math wrong.
Nope,
and I know we're to that age where, and this my thing is, what's the cutoff when you can stop counting championships? Like I hear people, those championships don't count because of blah 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 blah. It's usually Kentucky can't count the championships that Rupp won for reasons, and I'm like, everybody else count them.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas still got all their stuff up.
Uh-huh.
Every single team that's ever won an NCAA tournament, is got it up. Oregon still has a banner up for winning in 1939.
Uh-huh.
Why can't Kentucky count those? Why can't the Yankees count those World Series?
Yeah.
What's the cutoff? That's always my question.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't count 5 Super Bowls. They're Super Bowls. Like, what are we doing? I mean, I know we beat the Bengals, but they still Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I had to. Yeah.
Y'all beat them twice.
That's why the universe was like, the Niners had to lose to the Rams, because if the 49ers put the Bengals out of the Super Bowl for a third time, I was going to be, I was not going to be well.
Bengals fans just the 49ers are the Bengals fans, what Kentucky is the Iowa and Utah fans, essentially.
Yeah, man.
The Bengals see the Niners coming. Oh, Lord.
Well, and I used to go watch the Niners when they would come to Cincinnati, like every 7-8 years, depending on the schedule, they would come, and I would go to that game. And the Cincinnati fans like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Like, it don't matter what you do, you're not getting them 2 back.
They were so close too. That drive, so close. Was it John Taylor, the game winner?
Yeah, because they sent Jerry in motion, and you can watch it like everything shifts, and then right behind him is where John Taylor goes. Like, boom, boom, the ball was there because everybody went with Jerry, as they should, because 11 catches, 215 yards, a touchdown, Super Bowl 23 MVP. But then the next Super Bowl, it was the 55-10 dismantling of the Broncos. And then, a few years later, the dismantling of the Chargers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I feel bad because I did not watch that game, a lot of the Super Bowl that year, Super Bowl 29. I was young and stupid. And I was talking to a girl on the phone. And I was like, I'm a 49ers fan, baby, but the Super Bowl's on, but I'm talking to you. Yeah. Yeah. Like, to be clear, I saw them go up and like they'd score 4 or 5 touchdowns. I was like, all right, this is a wrap. But I didn't watch the big chunk of the second half.
That don't beat the Cowboys. You already knew. The Super Bowl was already.
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all already knew it was over.
At Super Bowl 29, I'm like, yeah, baby. Whatever. I was doing it 17 years old. I wish I'd been paying more attention because it's been nothing but pain in the playoffs ever since.
Hey, yeah, buddy. Yeah. It's what's his name? Kevin Gallagher been retweeting all those.
Yeah.
Steelers, Cowboys, Steelers, Super Bowl, Cowboys, Bills.
Yeah.
Big chunks and clips, and I have to retweet it, even though it's 30 years ago, and haven't seen the win since. But I have to go and retweet them because I'm right there with you when it comes to the drought.
Yeah, man. Like, is it better to not be involved, or is it better to lose these games? I don't know. We'll see.
Those graphics where the NFC teams that have made it to the NFC Championship game this century or whatever, and the Cowboys are way back here, barely even on the screen, and everybody else is clumped into a little group, and that is sad and pathetic, equally sad and pathetic.
But you know what? I will take it. Again, I want my teams to win all the time. But if you can't see your team win the Super Bowl, put the Packers out of it. Put the Cowboys out.
Yeah.
And I will go to my grave thinking we shut the door on the Detroit Lions. I am so glad we won that championship game a couple years. But still, people act like they won. To hear people talk about the Lions, they didn't win that game. And the 49ers fans pass around somebody saying, the window may be closed for the Lions. They may not get back. You're up 17 points in the second half. You win the game.
Yeah.
But Dan Campbell like to be wild on here. Like, take the points, man. Like, I don't understand the big brain aspect of these coaches. Take the points. It's the playoffs. You need points.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Lions that game drove pretty deep, went for it on 4th and 3 a couple of times, didn't get it. It's like you could have used them 6 points.
Yeah. Then y'all doinked a touchdown off somebody's helmet or off the shoulder pad and off an ear hole and got who was Ayuk or somebody crazy?
That's when I hurt my knee. That's when I hurt my knee. So what happened that game, because it was 17 points at the half. So right before the half, I turned the game off. I had a little bit of bourbon, and I'm apologizing to my wife for making her a 49ers fan. I'm like, this is terrible. This can't be how it goes. We can't lose to the Lions. The Lions as a franchise are so bad. They made 2 all-time greats quit football. I don't want to trade. I don't want to do football anymore. That is their legacy. And so I'm sitting there, and halftime goes. I'm like, I don't want to turn it on. I don't want to see this. Like, I'm going through it. Then we turn on, and Ayuk makes that catch. It bounces, and he catches it. I jump up. This is why, no joke, in my house, I got hardwood floors. So during big games, I'm cleaning, but I'm also wearing tennis shoes. I'm wearing sneakers. Because with Ayuk, I was wearing socks, and I jumped up on the hardwood floor, and my feet slipped, and my knee did like this. I said, oh my God. My knee ain't been right. My left knee ain't been right since that. So yes, that's why you will see me. I know you've seen, I've shared pictures. I do my dance. I watch every 49ers game with a Niners jersey and Kentucky shorts and shoes.
Because you never know when you got to jump up.
Yeah, and I work backwards. I always start with my Kittle or my Brown, and then I work backwards to the different Jerry jerseys that I have. So when you see me in the 1980s Jerry that I got in high school, that the 19 like you've seen it, and that one is it's snug. It's snug. It's immediate. That means this game has gone far. This game has gone really.
Method to your madness.
There's a method. I always start out with, okay, I'm going to start out with Kittle. But if we need some defensive juju, I'll put on Brown. Okay, all right. And then I start working backwards. The best games are when I just end at the garnet, Jerry. When he's the garnet color. But if I got to do the red and white one, yeah, that's that means the game is, yeah.
They get you a lot of Patrick Willis to throw in that mix.
Yeah, I gotta get some more. But there's a method to my madness. But yes, I wear shoes with some grip so I don't slip.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because I slipped. I think I hit my knee. I know I twisted, but yeah, the IU catch, absolutely. Absolutely. And I don't watch field goals.
Okay.
I mute the TV and I step out of the room. And then
any of them or just the clutch nerve-wracking?
Any of them. I don't watch any field goals. That was the funny thing about the Robbie Gould one. I didn't see it live. I stepped in the hallway, muted, and I'm sitting here like this. And she's like, it's good. Awesome. That was the year I made the fan video too.
So when did you start? When did you start stopping? When did you start not watching field goals?
Oh, it was during the Harbaugh years. I stopped watching field goals about then because I think, if I'm not mistaken, we missed a field goal in the Beyonce Ravens Super Bowl, and so I started. I don't. Not just playoff games. Like I don't watch field goals. Not same way for Kentucky. I don't watch field goals.
Okay. All right.
I step out, but Kittle's the same way. He's like, I don't watch. He's like, I'm over here. I'm not watching. So I was like, all right, I'm not a crazy person, but yeah, I don't watch field goals. That's about it. But yeah, there's a method to my madness. With Kentucky games, I will change my shorts. I got all those Kentucky shorts. So if I'm in the 84 shorts, it's been a rough game.
Yeah, man.
Because right now I'm starting off with 95.
Okay.
Got the icicles on, but we'll see.
So denim this weekend. You wearing the denims Saturday for Tennessee?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, wearing the white denims and some of the merch for the denims I'm not a big fan of, but I've already got the denims ready to go. I got my 1996 championship shirt. Well, my youngest wants to go to UK. And I'm all for it because I'd love to give me a UK dad shirt. But so lot of her friends are Kentucky fans, which good. I don't want her to fall in with that Louisville crowd. But she wants some of my old T-shirts because they're vintage. I was like, well, they ain't vintage; they just old. So I've given her some of my old T-shirts and everything like that. But she wants my bracket shirt for the 1996 tournament. I'm like, oh. I was like, it's a bracket shirt. She's like, yeah. She's like, yeah, but it's old. I was like, it's a bracket shirt. About the crazy place, like a bracket shirt. Anyway.
My sister Tara chimed in that she loved the denims. Yeah, going back to all that this weekend. So,
I think part of it too, with the icicles and the zigzags and all those, the teams were good.
Yeah,
like that. That's the thing is when they started being crazy. You look, 93 with the swoop, with the kind of swoop on the shorts, which Arkansas had the same thing. Yeah. The Mashburn, that's the first Final Four in 9 years, right? And then the 94 zigzags, you got the comeback against LSU.
Yeah.
The 95, these icicles, that's, of course, losing to North Carolina, Rasheed Wallace and them. But that's part of it is the teams are really, really good. You don't go back and look, losing like 3 or 4 times a year. Like when I look back between the 96 team and 2000, when I was in school, Kentucky lost maybe like 10 or 11 games over 4 years.
Yeah.
That's insane to me.
Yeah.
Like between 95 and 99. Right. That's the thing.
Absolutely, Tara.
Yeah, you look back to some of the horrible decisions, uniform decisions that people make. That's why Niners fans are glad we brought back the drop shadow numbers for an alternate, because we want a Super Bowl in them.
Yeah.
That's why you Cowboys fans love those whites with the big stars on the back, because you won a Super Bowl. So that's where I am.
That's it. So let's take care of Oklahoma. And
Oklahoma.
Focus on Tennessee. Beat Oklahoma like they're supposed to and show some consistency, and then put all our efforts to Tennessee, the Denim weekend, the reunion, and all the former players that's going to be back in town. So handle business tonight, and then we'll go from there. But another good episode.
Yeah, I just refuse to believe it's been 30 years. That's what's killing me is 30 years.
Yeah. This weekend is Super Bowl 60.
Yeah.
The Cowboys' last win was Super Bowl 30 when they beat Pittsburgh. So
yeah.
Yeah, man.
And shout out to the Super Bowl for still using Roman numerals.
Yes, they do.
Just pay 60. I don't know what XXVIEIO is. I don't know. Like they just went with it and we ain't changed it. So
yeah. That's it. We'll be back next week, y'all. Supposed to have Lindsay Goff on here from LEX 18. She used to be down in Georgia back during COVID. Sports director. So she's scheduled to hop on kind of right off the bat at 6:30 or 6:40 when we start next week. So
sounds good.
Talk some cats with her. That should be fun. And we'll be back next week. BS3 Network, BS Sutter, and everybody. Let's just do what we do. Appreciate you, TV. Appreciate everybody in the comments, listening.
Yeah.
Follow, like, subscribe, rate, give 5 stars, all that stuff. We appreciate it. And we'll see everybody next week. Catch Talk Wednesday, y'all.